Before we get started, I would like to lay out a goal for the day, because there's no reason to change if everything is already great. The goal would be to make studying as much fun as any distraction could possibly be, so that you voluntarily study more. Does that sound like a deal? Alright, let's get right into it with the first point. Just quickly about me. My name is Marius, and I've spent hundreds of hours studying the topic studying itself. I'm also educating hundreds of students on a daily basis on this matter, and I myself have been a student and have struggled with the same problems that you are struggling with. Create a point system. Literally, we're going to be leveling up your studies. So basically, every time you're studying, you earn experience points, which is kind of true. Now, every time you finish an exercise or an assignment, you gain X amount of these experiment points. And every time you get a good result in like a test or an exam, you level up. Like for example, if you finish your homework, you gain 2 points. If you finish your reading, you also gain 2 points. And if you do some revision throughout the day, you gain 3 points. So the max amount of points that we can earn would be 7. Now, if we would be tracking this, we can see, for example, that on the first day, we've gained the anticipated 7 points. Next one, we were a bit lazier, not terrible, but a bit lazier, and have just gained 4 points, and the day after that, we just gained 5 points. The cool part is that we can add as many categories to this spreadsheet as we want. We can expand it as we want. We can make it as long as we want, and then later on, can visualize it with pretty graphs and so on. If you want to be really smart, you are going to combine this technique with rewards. So every time you reach a certain amount of points, for example, you can reward yourself with gaming. In this case, you, for example, can game for 15 minutes if you reach 5 points, and you can game for 45 minutes if you gain 7 points. That, of course, makes you aim for 7 points itself instead of 5, because then you just get more out of it. You can also add weekly or even monthly rewards after, for example, reaching 25 points. And possible rewards are, that's something that I mentioned in the last video, saving some money, drinking a hot chocolate or tea or coffee, socializing with friends, doing some journaling, doing some gaming, as I said, or maybe the reward of earning points is enough for you. Could be as well. So what are the lessons here? Number 1, gamify your whole school/university life. Literally, make it fun. Make a game out of it, because then you can level up and see your grades improve proportionally to the amount of points that you gained throughout the semester. Now, what I plan on doing, for example, for next year as well, is to make a game out of my whole life. For every unenjoyable task, I'm gonna give myself points, and by that, I can level up now. But leveling is not everything. You can also change up your study environment. You should in particular do that when you feel stress, when it's a difficult subject, when it's a boring one, when you're tired and your overall surroundings are extremely distracting. And go ahead and get somewhere else. You can literally prevent fatigue by changing up your study environment once in a while. And potential alternatives are your local library, your uni library, a coffee shop, an empty classroom, a friend's place, you can go and study nature, or your local bookstore. That makes your study environment, of course, more varied. You can, by that, avoid distractions. By seeking the study environment least distracting, you automatically get more resilient against noise and in particular also changes. And for all introverts out there, you might find some new friends. But in case you don't want to have new friends, don't worry, I also got a solution for you, because you could join our study group. Our study group will keep you accountable and help you when you're struggling with motivation. They will provide help in case you need some, in particular if you're all studying the same subject. And what was really important was my observation when I went to school. You can struggle together, and based on my experience, it's always better to struggle with someone instead of struggling on your own. Quickly interrupting this video to tell you about the template bundle that I created. It contains 1,200 pages, 50 individual templates, and over 2,600 stickers. Right now you can use the code JUSTSOMEONE for a 20% discount. Thank you everyone for your support, and let's get back to the video. But as I said, you don't have to actually go out there in the wild, find new people. You can also go online on YouTube, like the platform you're on right now, and just type in Study With Me live streams or Study With Me premieres, because there's some remarkable people who keep their camera running while they're studying and then entertain the viewers throughout the break. They're super easy to find. You can adapt to their routine and can kind of make a habit out of it to join every single morning. You're extremely flexible, but you still have guided sessions. And because of those breaks, you will be more motivated. You can interact with the streamer, you can interact with the community. The disadvantages, of course, are pretty obvious. You are already on the social media platform that might be distracting to you. And there's no personal advice. Nobody's gonna answer a question that you have regarding your studies. Nevertheless, I've got a list of potential streamers. Links are in the video description. Like, for example, Enrico Vincente, if that's the right pronunciation. He's a Harvard student, or former Harvard student, and has an audience to over 150, I think, thousand people right now. So it's like one of the, if not the largest Study With Me streamer that is currently still active. Wu Jin has also been relatively active and streamed every single day. There would be Pascal Zölz, another Study With Me live streamer from Germany, like I am, and Statistic, who's also a physics student like I am as well. And of course, you don't need to go somewhere. You can also watch my Study With Me live streams that are already on my channel. But if you actually want some personal advice, you might want to join Discord, because they can get all the advantages from above, plus you can activate your cam and kind of become a Study With Me live streamer yourself. And if the Discord server provides bots, which mine does, bots might help you with tracking your study session. You can create to-dos and so on. I actually also made a full video about my Discord server if it's too overwhelming. But if you want people from your course to make a sign in uni, go join some WhatsApp groups. Just remind yourself that those people should have similar goals to yours. If you don't align with one another, then there's not an equal amount of motivation found in each other. And now the fourth point is listening to music. I bet some of you, maybe even the majority of you, actually do listen to music while studying. I personally also listen to music, but there's like a rule of thumb that you should follow. First of all, listening to no music and studying in complete silence will most likely give you the best results, because you already are preparing your mind for some form of exam situation. You don't have music playing while you're in an exam room, do you? There's just very, very little background noise. But if you listen to music, then at least listen to music without lyrics. And if you truly have to, which is like kind of worst case scenario on the list, then listen to music with lyrics. But just if there's no other choice. And the music that I listen to, for example, during my studies or while I'm working, is The Lord of the Rings. Howard Shore is actually the number 4 played artist on my Spotify Wrapped for 2024. And for everyone who prefers beats over classical music, there's Lo-Fi Girl. And I hope that makes your studies a little bit more enjoyable. Thank you for another day in paradise. Check out the video up here about how to reward yourself and how to stay focused for longer hours. All the best to you, and goodbye.